I just love it, and it's a good life. It's fun. And when somebody asks me, I tell them how I did it and how hard it can be. But after a while, it'll be Randall's for you. If you want to play soccer and you want to play at a high level, Randall is for you. But we'll compete. I respect what Randall did this past year. I respect those players. I respect that coach, myself. But that coach is not me anymore. Because what I learned then, I will do better this year.
How you been, Mario?
Good, man. Just living life.
Living life?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for coming on the episode, the Mas Futbol podcast. I've had you on, twice already? This is
No,
three?
just once.
Oh, with George, right?
Yeah, was it?
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, solo dolo today.
I think, that was George's second one? Because he did the second one you ever recorded.
Yeah.
And then, have you had anybody else more than twice?
I had Byron on
Byron's
twice.
the second time you had him,
I've
isn't it?
had Garrett and Kit
Garrett
twice.
and Kid, yeah.
They're fun to speak with every time. Who else have I had on
Did the
twice?
Santa Fe South guys, Abel and Baco twice?
I've had them on once.
Okay.
But I need to get them on again too. Him and
Furley?
Wes. I need to get Wes on
Yeah.
again as well. But yeah, dude, lots have changed since I last spoke to you. When I spoke to you last, you were running the show at Douglas.
Yeah.
You just converted Mario into the soccer. I don't know who else.
George.
George. I don't know who else. I mean, you've converted so many people from a civilian to a coach.
I just love it, and it's a good life. It's fun. And when somebody asks me, I tell them how I did it and how hard it can be. But after a while, it'll be a lot of reward for. Is that a word? Reward for?
Rewarding?
Rewarding?
Yeah, it can be rewarding.
Yeah, rewarding.
Nice. So what's changed from then, from Douglas High School to now? What was that?
So I am now the head men's coach at Randell University.
Nice.
So
Thank
you. Big just opportunity. Just to be in that position to where I came from in life and to have that job, it's like,
yeah,
dude, I get chills.
You gotta pinch yourself sometimes?
Yeah, dude. Nah, really, man. What we did at Douglas, me and George, was awesome. I did 3 years there, and I feel like I did what I could. I got a kid signed to SNU. I think that was Douglas' first ever college soccer player. A lot of it was him, though. I mean, all I did was help him. I mean, his GPA and his grades just got him there. And he was fortunate to have, scholarships, Fast Vote, Oklahoma Promise, and he ended up going there for no money.
Wow. And
I always tell, people, after 3 years, that's one thing I got to show for it, and to me, that made it well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a call from Eric Morrison. Eric Morrison? He coached at Crossings.
Yeah, of course.
Eric sent me a text randomly December of 2022. No, it was November, December. Yeah, it was around this time, actually, about a year ago. Said, hey, man, would you ever coach college soccer? And I was like, dude, I would love to coach college soccer, but I don't have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I don't know if that's necessarily a deal breaker, man. Just can I give your number to somebody? I said, sure. And he's like, well, it's girls. I said, I don't care, dude. So I get a call from Bob Thompson, who's the president of Randall. Says, hey, man, Eric talked well about you. We'd like to interview you for the women's job. I said, cool. He's like, it was actually going into Thanksgiving break. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I remember. And he's like, we'll be on break for a week. After that, we'll get back to you. So this is a year ago, actually.
And they just left you hanging there for a week.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right. So I get an email from Todd Jensen, who's our AD. He said, hey, man, can you talk? Yeah, and we talked on the phone. And I was very clear about it from the beginning. I said, hey, I don't have a degree. He's like, man, that's not necessarily a deal breaker. We're trying to do things. We're trying to create a program for our women. They haven't had one for a couple of years. They have had one, but not to the degree where it should be. I think the previous coach was doing boys and girls, men's and women's. And it's a hard job, man. And, it's easy to get stuck on one, especially when one's being successful as the men's were. So I interviewed once. I thought it went great. And I was like, man, this is good. And then they just kind of threw it out there to me. He said, hey, would you be interested in the men's position? Because Jake, I shouldn't say his name, but I guess the previous coach resigned.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blunt. I said, honestly, guys, like, I really like what you guys are trying to do with the women's programs. As somebody that built something at Douglas, like,
That's what I was thinking too.
I was like, I would love to be the guy to do, like, okay, well, we'll be in touch. I thought it went great, man. I was like, man, I'm excited. I had to go to Florida for a youth tournament with my son. So we're down there. While we're there, I get a call. I missed the call.
Oh no.
I was like, okay. Then I see the voicemail, so I call back. And I was like, man, they're about to offer me this job, dude. Like, and they're like, hey, we'd like for you to come back for a second interview. I said, okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm in Florida right now. Yeah, when you get back. So I got back. We went to the interview, and again, it went great, man. And me just being me and being very impatient, I tried to figure out who else
was in the
mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the name Isaac, he coaches at Energy. Isaac, and his name came up. I never talked to the guy, so I hit him up on Facebook.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Isaac Revulka.
Yeah. He went to Grant.
Yeah. Awesome dude, bro. Like, I met him one time when he was coaching. I was watching the game he was coaching.
Did you ever play soccer against him though?
I don't think so. But so I hit him up on Facebook, and then I call him. Like, I'm just like that, dude. I don't care if I don't know you. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm like, hey man, like, I just want to be. He's like, honestly, I interview. He's like, but I'm not really interested in it. I said, okay. He's like, I don't know who else is in it, but like, good luck, man. I was like, hey, I appreciate it. And I get a call about 3 days later, and it was Todd. And I remember I was driving with my daughter, and they're like, hey, it's Todd. Hey, so we decided to go with somebody else. Bro, like, it was like, hey, I was just happy to be in contention, but at that point, I really felt like I was going to get the job. And my daughter, she's like, you all right? I was like, yeah, I didn't get the job. She's like, it's all right, Dad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still coaching, at this point, I'm still at Douglas, and I'm coaching clubs. So I already feel blessed to have the jobs that I have. So I'm like, hey, it's okay. And the next day it comes out, Neil took the men's job, which was not the job I was shooting for. And then Byron and I didn't know Byron. I heard him from your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably hates me for this, but God, he was so boring, like, I love the man to death. I'm like, dude, you're just like a robot, Byron. Like, but I was like, man, I don't know the guy, but man, he has a degree. He has a lot of experience. Edmond Memorial, great program. Yeah. Like, good experience coaching high level girls. I'm like, I could see why.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just like, okay, whatever. And I go on about my day. And I remember we had a high school game against Kingfisher. And by this time, my Douglas team is not what it was the year before. We went from like battling for playoffs to like we're getting destroyed 10-0.
Yeah,
it just happens, man. A lot of players leave.
It's a tough program.
It is.
Tough place to run a program,
is, man.
At least for soccer.
Yeah, it is, because you're the bastard stepchild,
mm-hmm.
and you're just working hard to give these kids an opportunity. So I remember we're going up at Kingfisher, and I get a message from Byron that says, "Hey man, are you free to talk?" I'm like, man, he's gonna find out I'm talking smack about him. He's gonna say something. I'm like, yeah, man, let's talk. So I go into my office and we're on the phone. He's like, hey, man, Neil had sadly had something happen personal for him. He can't take the job anymore. They told me if I knew anybody. I asked them, hey, well, who did you? And they're like, we really like this Mario guy. So he's like, are you interested? Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, here you were talking mess about him.
I know, man. He's over there like helping me out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I didn't even hesitate. I said, yeah, like, I'm interested. I didn't even talk to my wife or nothing. I just said, yeah.
Do I need to quit Douglas now? Because I'll leave the Kingfisher game right now.
Nah. So he was like, I can't tell you it's a job. They told me to find somebody. He said, can you? He's like, I'm gonna reach out, and the AD hit me back up. He said, hey man, come up for an interview. Mm. But like, I had it in my mind, I had to say, well, I'm not going through this whole interview process all over again. You already interviewed me twice. This will be the third time. If you want to give me the job, offer me the job. That's
did you told him that, or you thought that?
I told him that. Well, I thought that, and I told my wife that too. My wife's like, yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, you don't be a punk about it.
Pintar la raya.
Yeah, but just let them know, like, hey, this is.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
So we'll go in his office, and I say, hey man, we talk. I say, hey man, to be honest with you, man, like, you've interviewed me this is the third time. Like, we've had some conversations, and if you're gonna offer me this job, I need you to offer me this job because it's spring break and it's March, and I had to start recruiting because he said, yeah, man, we're pretty much offering you the job. So I took it, took everything, drug tests, all that good stuff. I started like beginning of April, and I show up, and then come to find out, like, I had 7 players. Oof. Because a lot of the guys transferred out. And a lot of the guys that were there were like, yeah, coach, like, we just want to win. And, Randall's been a really good program. They were national champions 2020. five straight. I think it's 2019, 20, 21, 22. So 4 straight regional championships. I think they won 18 too. So, but a lot of the guys, when you go from you have a coach resign, then you have players leave with the coach, and then you have another coach that comes on, then that coach resigns. So now the fear of are we even going to have a program? So I can understand the fear of the players of So I had right off the bat, I was like, okay, and Byron's been there since December. I'm just lucky enough that I just know so many people.
Yeah, you do.
And dude, I started recruiting. I think I ended up recruiting about 20 players.
Wow.
Plus the 7 that I had. And we got into the season. There was 27. Everything mishaps happening. I had one kid I recruited from another college, a Brazilian kid. He was missing a credit, so he couldn't play this year. 3 of my players that played last year to their going from they're all seniors. You go from a really good program, and now we're rebuilding. It's not for everybody, man. Not everybody's built to carry a team and to be that leader. So we had people leave during the season.
Oof.
One of them's like, hey coach, I'm going to get my master's. I like to have that year of eligibility. Can I just redshirt this year? We're not going to do nothing this year. I said, hey man, if that's what you want, I'm not going to hold anybody.
Yeah.
So man, freshman heavy team. Lots of tough road matches against really good programs. And it wasn't the year that we wanted, but it was the year we needed. Because the biggest thing was we had to get that culture under control. And I think we succeeded in that. We lost in the regional semifinals. A lot of people don't know me and maybe don't know the program well or don't know the soccer world, college soccer world. I may be the guy that just came in and brought Randall down. Man, because national champions competing for national titles, playing NAIA schools and beating them 2-1 to going and getting destroyed by these NAIA schools.
Well, you say that, but when you came in, there was only 7 players.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you necessarily brought them down.
But we know the inside of it. But people outside of Randall's loss, they're just like, man, what happened there? Yeah. If the same thing happened at MacU, we would be like, man, what did this guy do? But we don't know the inside internals of it,
That's true.
Yeah, I know they just lost in the first round or second round of the NAIA.
The semifinals. I think it was the finals just to go to nationals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So people might think, no, Neil Hilton's an awesome guy, and we don't know what he had to deal with when players leave, when coaches leave. So people don't understand the inside and out of it. So, but it was cool because we lost. It was at home. We hosted the regional tournament, which sucked because then we had to host the finals the next day. But we lost, went to a locker room. There was a lot of hugging. There was crying. A lot of local kids. Kids from Harding, Westmore. I had kids from Noble. Just local kids, and just a chance for them to play. And I was happy for that. I always tell people, I went to Capitol Hill. I can't imagine. I'm trying to think in my mind. I can't think any other coach in the city of college. I don't know where maybe Jimmy Furman at Southwest. I don't know if he's local, played locally, but I went to Capitol Hill High School and I'm a college coach in Oklahoma City. We will make it work. We're gonna make it happen. And who am I not to give a local kid a chance? Yeah, that was awkward.
No, it's okay.
No, you're fine. So yeah, man. So that's how it ended up, and that was the year, But we're working hard.
Do you see a lot of similarities with the position that you're in now, from the one that you were in Douglas? Because it is. I mean, you were rebuilding in Douglas. You said you're rebuilding.
Well, at Douglas, we were building.
We were building. Period.
Yeah, we were just building at Douglas. We were just hoping kids wanted to play soccer. Man, Randall's awesome. It's a great opportunity to learn the college game. I'm kind of like Byron. We came in, we didn't here, knock yourself out, buddy. No assistant coach. That knows what it was just, hey, we need you to recruit players. Cool. Where do I start?
Yeah, that's what kind of a large part of our conversation when I was talking to Byron was recruiting.
Yeah.
And how it's crash course and how to go about it, how to speak about it, how to sell yourself, how to sell the school, how to let people know that Randall might not be for you, but if it is, we got your back.
Man, on the boys' side, and this is for whoever's listening to this, on the boys' side, Randall's for you. If you want to play soccer and you want to play at a high level, Randall is for you. It's not the highest level you may want to be playing at, but we'll compete. Like, I'm not. You know Mike Tomlin from the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I heard Mike Tomlin one time after they lost in the playoffs go up on the podium and said, "We respect what the Steelers of this year did," putting himself in that in third person. But now it's time to work on our year. This is right after they lost. They're already looking forward for next year. I put myself always in the same, like, this past year that I coached, I respect what the Randall did before. But that's not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care how many national titles they went to. Like, that's not my problem anymore. Good for them. All I can worry about was in my locker room. And now that season's over and we're going forward, I'm already, we're recruiting already. I respect what Randall did this past year. I respect those players. I respect that coach, myself. But that coach is not me anymore. Because what I learned I will do better this year. So I'm not the same coach I was this last season. So again, I respect their rebuilding thought and that they're rebuilding. And this year we're going to keep rebuilding, but the expectation is higher now. Byron obviously has a little bit difficult. With girls, it's different. He has a bigger battle. He told you himself, like with boys, yeah, I can talk to tons of boys. The boys are like, I want to play soccer, coach. Okay, there's more to it than just showing up and playing soccer, bud. This is college. You went to college, These are the ins and outs of the program. But as far as recruiting goes, man, it's the funnest part of the job.
That's the best part for you?
It's awesome, man. I love it.
What are you doing now to recruit?
So with me, it's simple. Just being in contact with players. Being in contact. And I'm not even exaggerating, I get hundreds of emails every week. Yes.
Players?
Yes. Players from all over the country, local player. It's just breaking down first. Like I have files. I have a contact. Don't even worry about it. And maybe. Any local kid's going into contact. Don't care what level you're at. Don't care what school you're at. Don't care what club you're at. It's going to contact. So don't worry about it. I had a kid reach out from Washington, right? 33 ACT, ECNL, top level, if you soccer, from the state of Washington. That kid has no intention of coming to play at Randall.
You think so?
Zero intention, man. He just made a generic email that sent it out to as many coaches as he could to see how many he could bite, which is fine. That's what we teach our young players to do. Contact as many coaches as you can that you know. Could I go pursue him? Yeah, but now I got to break down his film. I got to look if I like the way he plays. Then I got to contact him. Then I convince him to get on a plane and fly to Oklahoma City to visit Randall. Thousands of miles away. That's a lot of time in my life that I could have recruited more local kids.
Yeah, but Randall might be for him.
Good for him. If he really wants to go to Randall, Randall's there waiting for him. But there's a lot of local kids that I can go that don't have that person in their life telling them, this is what you need to do. I want to have local players. Am I going to have international players? Yeah. You have to have international players at this level to compete. I'm not going to get the best player in Oklahoma. I hope so. I wish he would. I wish they would give Randall a chance because one thing in 3 years, Randall's going to be a whole different place. Facilities are going to be better. We're already talking about growing the facilities. How can our game day experience be better? Because I care about those stuff. You know what I mean? So those players like, hey, I played MACU in my first game. It was a reserve game, and their place was packed for a reserve game. It was awesome. It was an awesome feeling. It was my first college game, and it was intense.
Oh, really?
And it was their reserve team.
How'd it feel? Like it's your first reserve game. It's coming up. Like
yeah, man. It was we went up 2-0 on them, and again, like I don't discredit MACU. They have great players from the top to the bottom, and like just to be up 2-0, even if I don't care if it's a reserve squad. Like I felt good. Like you know what I mean. Both goals, kid from Moore and a kid from McAllister scored both goals. So it's like, man, we're tied. We're up 2-0 at halftime from two kids from Oklahoma scoring goals. Second half, they come in. They tie us 2-2. But it wasn't. It felt like a championship game, and it's a reserve game. In the beginning of the year, Neil, my assistant's getting heated. Neil was like, "Hey guys, relax." Like it's just, and if you've ever seen me coach, I'm a real laid back coach. Like I'm real relaxed. Like, but I have to have an assistant that's kind of a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like so I had George.
George was your assistant?
He was my assistant at Douglas.
Okay.
So now I have a guy named Matias
Okay.
that used to play at Randall, Argentinian guy. Great guy. But he's the emotional one, you know?
Yeah.
And George was the emotional one, you know? So, like,
That's
hey, man, let them give out the referee. You know, sorry, but you got a red card. See you later. That's not going to be me, you know? Yeah. But, like, it was awesome. Just that first game right off the bat, like, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is, we can work with this, you know? And it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And just the gratefulness of being that little mocosillo from Capitol Hill.
Did you cry afterwards? Just like,
I didn't cry, but like it just
had to have a beer afterwards. That's crazy though to think that, like, you know, considering that you, I guess didn't expect to be there so soon. Maybe, you know.
Nah, man. I mean, 5 years ago was where we 2020. So 5 years ago, I was coaching rec indoor in the summertime. Like 5 years ago, I was coaching rec for free because my son was on the team. Now I'm coaching college and coaching club, and I don't do anything but coach soccer now.
Damn, that's crazy.
Like, I mean, when I was at Douglas, I still had my job at the school, you know. So now all I do is soccer. Like, that's it, man.
Soccer.
Like, that's it, dude. Like recruiting, you know, everything you have to do with Randall, and then coaching club, and then helping at high school this year. Like, it's all soccer.
Yeah.
Like I'm blessed, man.
Living the dream.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's somebody's dream. You know, it was my dream. It's still my dream. We'll see where it takes us.
Dang, and you're already talking about improving. It's like playing Football Manager, but in real life.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm the guy that never plays the games of FIFA. Just tries to like make sales and buy players, and like that's me. I enjoy that side of it. You know, like we got a. You know, I don't know how long Randall's been around. It used to be Hillsdale. I know that field's been around forever. Within 3 months, we had an irrigation system put in for free. We didn't pay a dime. Just shout out to Evan Dressel, you know. Sporting needed something. We needed something, so we worked it out.
Totally, that's right.
You know, they needed somewhere to train their little kids. I needed an irrigation system. Hey, you do this. We'll do this for you, Mario. If we could do this, yeah, let's do it. I had to call my boss at South Lakes to make sure it was cool with him, and he understood the business side of it. And he's like, "Yeah, man, don't worry, knock yourself out."
Nice.
So now we got sprinklers. So the first thing first is that field. You know, getting that field top notch. You know, I see Matthews, I see Southwestern, like it's beautiful fields. You know, I hate turf.
Bad for your knees, you know.
I hate turf soccer. Like I hate it, man. So you know, just getting a nice field. Next thing, you know, we got to get a scoreboard. You know, so
lights. Are there lights?
Lights are probably the last thing we're looking at. Just because we can play games. College, you can play games at 2, 3 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So, like, I think lights is probably the last thing that we'll be looking at. And we're talking 4 or 5 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need lights right now.
Is your AD like, dang, slow down, Mario?
No, here's the cool part. Like, I think my AD appreciates
the passion you have for it.
Not just the passion, but, like, the passion of bringing a good culture to Randall. You know, we are a Christian university. You know, and just going to games and getting back 3, 4 in the morning, you know, and my players still going to chapel in the morning, you know, and like being there. And that's the biggest thing, man. Like, I have to respect what the needs and wants of my school. They, in the culture was one of the biggest things they talked about. We want a winning culture, but we would not sell out our morals for winning. So finding the right player that fits that. You know, and I feel like I did a good job this year of finding a good group of boys that fit that mold, you know. When I talk to recruits, I tell them, like, hey, the first things first, like, soccer's soccer, but outside of soccer, this is what I expect, you know. So I think I did a good job, and my AD sees that, so now he's like, hey, man, well, what can we do for you to make the experience better, you know.
You're just like, I love that you're asking me that question.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, I tell Byron all the time, we ask for everything. Worst thing they could say is no.
Yeah.
I mean, and I used to be in sales, man. So, like, I'm used to, you know, where no.
Yeah,
we can't do that. Okay, cool. Let me see what else I can ask for.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way I am. I'm just built that way. Like, worst they can say is no. You know, that's it.
Dang. So what are you going to do when you guys win nationals?
Celebrate that night and go back to work the next day to win nationals because we'll respect what that team did, but we're ready to go for next year.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
I do see a long distance haul for me at Randall. I'm getting my degree there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my biggest goal right now is I wanted to get a degree because I wanted to coach college soccer. Like that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to think who else coaches college soccer at a head coach level that doesn't have a degree. It's hard to find that.
Mm-hmm.
So before I can even think of anything else, I have to get that degree.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a family and I have a wife and I have kids, I have club. So I just can't go be a full-time student.
Yeah.
So I'm probably in Randall for a long haul.
Dude, that's crazy. Hold on. That's crazy. I just started thinking about, I have video of when you used to practice when you were the girls coach at Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
I interviewed you when you were at Douglas High School, and now you're here. You know what I mean? I just, as you were saying that, I was like, dang, that's crazy, crazy, crazy.
Dude, if you want something, the worst they can tell you is no.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep trying. You remember Cat Williams? Trying it, don't work. Trying it, It's what you do, man. But again, it takes an army, it takes a village. I think last time we talked, and I'm gonna say it again, like my wife being as supportive as she is of my career, like none of this happens without the support of my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like my wife saying, yeah.
What does she say now?
Oh, she's just, for the longest time, I was always so down on myself. Like, coaching, because when I was in sales, man, I made really good money, but I was just unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And she would see, because I'd come home and be in a bad mood, and finally she just said, like, what?
We're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it.
What's the podcast?
We're talking about soccer. Talking about him.
That's awesome.
And how he's a
Is
college
this your
coach now.
Podcast or his?
It's mine.
Are you on lunch or something, or is this something new?
No, I'm on lunch. This is gonna be episode like 88.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I
I've been
have
doing
a
this.
podcast.
Huh?
How do I get started?
Okay, I'll teach you. I got you.
I could probably have a podcast on a lot of things.
You think so?
Yeah, like different topics. I don't know.
We're about to talk some politics up in here, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, bet.
Hey, man, look at you just...
I didn't.
Look at you opening doors for people, man.
The only people that knew were the people that needed to know. My
Yeah.
bosses and my managers.
She's about to snitch you out, bro.
She
She was
probably-
carrying. What is going on here? Are you on lunch?
Is he clocked out? Anyways.
So, yeah, man, my wife just coming home and being in a bad mood
Mm-hmm.
just from not liking my job. And my wife's just like, what do you want to do? And she's like, honestly, I'd like to coach soccer. She's like, yeah. And that's how I got in the club, and Capitol Hill came around.
Mm-hmm.
And like now where I am now, and she always tells me like, babes, like just the lives you've touched, the lives you changed. Like that's
The amount
the
of
big
people you've turned into coaches, the amount of players we've got into college.
man. I tell everybody the same thing. Like I told George the same thing. Like if you want this, it's there. You're just gonna have to sacrifice, man.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot. Like that's just the way it is, man. Like you may not be able to buy that big truck. You know what I mean? Like you may have to sacrifice a vacation with your family just one time or two times because then you'd be coaching in soccer tournaments become your vacation.
Yeah.
But like if you really, really want this, and at the end of the day, it comes down to this: like people don't want to risk it because they still have to make a living. I'm lucky enough now. I'm blessed enough that I make a living doing this, doing what I love, and but it took years of sacrifice. When I was the girls' coach at Capitol Hill, I still had to work at Capitol Hill making like $17,000 a year as a parapro, and then coaching the girls, and then I wasn't coaching club yet, so I had an Uber, I had to find any way I could to make money, and then you go to Douglas, and then finally I got a club job, and again another opportunity. Like I think I may be the only club coach at South Lakes that didn't play college soccer.
Think so?
I'm pretty much looking at it. I think I'm the only coach there that didn't play college soccer, and it's just a blessing for them to give me that opportunity. That's why, I'm loyal, man. Like I'm loyal to Randall. I'm loyal to South Lakes because they gave me an opportunity. After a year after South Lakes, I had like 2 job offers from other clubs,
Really?
and it was just like, nah. Like my kids play here. My DLC gave me an opportunity that nobody even looked at. Nobody knew who I was. Obviously, it took, Ricky to get my foot in the door. But I don't want to say that because then he's going to gloat about it.
Big head. Shout out to Ricky.
But yeah, man, and now, like, there's different opportunities opening up on the club side that I never expected to open up. And, just, again, it's just sacrificing, sometimes saying yes when you don't want to say yes. Sometimes if they say, hey, can you do this? And you're just like, oh.
I did.
yeah, I'll do this, you know. But I've learned also, one of my classes in school taught me about setting boundaries.
Yeah. How important
And
it is to say no.
yeah, and you know, I've learned a lot of ways to just start saying no in a very professional, like, hey, I just can't do that right now because I will not be fully committed to it.
That's a good way of saying no right there. I'm
Yeah.
going to use that.
Yeah, I mean, I just today I had a call. Hey, so and so can't get on the call for All Americans. Can you get on today? How long is it? It's about 30 minutes to an hour. What time is it? 6. I don't think I can do that, man. And I don't want to make you look bad by saying yes, and then
Not being fully committed.
I'm not being fully committed. You know, so that's my thing right now. Like trying to avoid putting myself in situations where I don't need to be in, either because again I do take a lot of time away from my family and my kids. So any chance I do get, like this week, you know, I felt a little guilty coming to record. That's honestly, that's why I kind of been blowing you off a little bit, you know, because it's because like any chance I get to not have to do anything, I want to spend it with my kids, you know.
I feel you
and my
1,000%.
wife, you know, but my wife also tells me like, hey, like it'll be okay.
Yeah, that's why I record during my lunchtime at work. Cause
that's awesome, man.
I'm already off.
I expect the grind. I love the grind. Respect the grind. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I know we talked in the past about how you wanted to be a coach, but it's the time commitment, you know. And I respect that. I respect that this is your way of staying in touch with the game. And dude, I love podcasting, dude. Like I love recording podcasts. I love listening. That's what I do. I listen to podcasts. We have a class at school for podcasting.
Really?
Yeah. A couple of my boys are in it, and the professor's like, man, Mario, I don't get it, man. Like they just struggle so much. Like you got to have that nature of just wanting to talk. Yeah. You know. So yeah, man, I'm very grateful.
Dang. Well, congratulations to you, dude. That's badass.
Yeah, dude.
So what does this mean for Cosmos? Like, does this complicate your Cosmos schedule? Are you...
Man, so before I took the college...
Does it work out better now for you?
Man, so this year has been hectic. So before I took the Randall job, I had committed to 4 teams at Cosmos.
Yeah, I heard.
And I couldn't just bail on them.
Yeah.
So I just made it work, man. And I'm learning now that that's not always the best thing.
Yeah, 4 teams... Then
what
do they practice? Twice a week?
Twice a week.
Oof,
and
that's 8 practices in a week, plus the daily ones that you do at college.
Yeah.
Whatever you do at Randall.
Exactly. So I've learned that maybe I stretched myself too thin this semester. And I go by semesters now, you know, this season.
Your life is now broken down by semesters.
Yeah.
Off season, off season, off season.
Exactly. So I kind of learned that, hey, maybe I stretched. So I'm learning to maybe next year it's not going to be that way. Like we need to change some stuff up. But then I commit myself to coach high school soccer in the springtime again. So
Damn. It makes me wonder how people like Coach Hampton do it. Coaching when he used to coach boys and girls at USAO and then was the DOC as well as coaching club teams, like people that like you guys, my respects.
It's a grind, man, especially when my kids are still little, you know. I mean, I'm sure there'll come a time when my kids are older and then I have way more time on my hands. You know, but my kids are playing too. So imagine I had those 4 teams. I'm only coaching one of my own kids. So I still had 2 other kids playing.
One of them is in high school, you know?
Well, my oldest daughter's a senior this year. She decided not to play club this year. She wanted to focus on school. Okay. So she's, you know, doing the college thing, she's looking at colleges, seeing where she wants to go. I think she's going to try to play at the high school it's her first year at Choctaw. So
that's right, because you guys relocated.
Yeah, we moved to Choctaw, and I'm actually coaching. I'm the assistant boys at Choctaw High School.
Badass program too. Badass stadium out there in Choctaw.
We don't use the stadium, man. No, man. That thing is football. It's only? Football country out there, man.
Talking about being the bastard child, right?
Yeah, no, but man, the program there's fun. They got demoted to 5A. They got relegated to 5A.
I don't know if relegated is the right word, but they just
they did get relegated for 5A.
You think so?
Yeah, so they were.
It's like teams that got bumped from 5A to 6A don't look at it as a promotion, you know?
No. The rule is very weird. Like Byron likes it, and I say, dude, I like it, but it needs to be more. Like because only private schools can get moved up.
Only private schools can get moved up?
Yes.
So I mean, isn't it broken down by the number of kids in the school?
So that's originally how you divide 6A, 5A, 4, and all that. But if you have a program like Choctaw who has not been as successful as they want to be in the last couple years, it's not realistic for them to be playing 6A schools because it is football country. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they get moved down to 5A to hopefully be more competitive with some of the teams there. But then you have like Bishop Kelly who won I don't know how many state titles in a row in 5A. Then they get bumped up to 6A because they're a private school. So if I have money and my kid's really good, I can send my kid to Bishop Kelly regardless. I could live in Oklahoma City and send my kid to Bishop Kelly. You know what I mean? So they had that advantage. Obviously, I think it should be more broad include other schools. You know, I think it's a disservice to the schools like Santa Fe South, who are a great program, and history shows that, you know, they can compete at any level. So it's a disservice to them because they probably do want to compete at the highest level they can compete, but they're not going to get moved up because they're not a private school. And unless they get like a bigger building with more kids in there, that's the only way they'll be able to move up. So it has its pros and its cons, you know. So yeah, man, high school soccer's coming. That's kind of exciting too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, I was gonna talk. Didn't you have a son that played at Cricket Oak? Did he graduate?
No, so that was my. I called him my son, but he was my nephew. But yeah, he played.
Okay.
He actually plays for me at Randall.
Does he?
Yeah, he plays for me at Randall.
And did he graduate last year?
No. So he was the year that Matt won state.
Okay.
So he won state. He's very famous throughout the small soccer world because
he's the pitcher.
He's the pitcher. He's the kid on the pitcher.
He's the kid in the pitcher watching the team celebrate when they lost it, and then he was the kid in the pitcher, same position, same pitcher, but when they won it.
So they lost to Mount St. Mary his junior year, and he watched them celebrate and watched them. And then when they beat Mount St. Mary in the quarterfinals, I believe, he stood there in the same pose and took a picture. It was the same score too, like 2-1. I don't know I think it was 1-0 in the finals, but yeah. So he took a year off. He went to work. We talked. When I got this job, I said, "Hey man, I'm getting this college job," and he's like, "Yeah." And so he came to play for me at Randall. He's getting college education.
Nice. Look at you again. You know,
every chance they get, man. Look, it's Byron calling me.
Answer. What do you want, dude? We're recording a podcast. Answer. Go ahead. Answer. We're on the podcast. If I don't want to speak to you.
Hey, man, I'm recording a podcast here, man. Why are you calling me?
Hey, can you hear me?
I'm recording a podcast, man. What's up?
Oh, it is too. My bad, bro.
We're in the middle of recording right now. You're on the podcast.
Man, I just had a quick question.
All right, well, I'll call you afterwards.
All right, man.
Again, he missed the sarcasm there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Byron's like a robot, man. When you hear this, Byron, you're a robot. You could just laugh along with us.
He was laughing inside.
Yeah.
He was probably like, oh, shit.
So he came to play for me at Randall, and he's doing the college thing. And then against my daughter, and then I have a son. My son and daughter are both in 8th grade.
8th grade?
Yeah, they're both in 8th grade, and they both play. My daughter just got back to playing because she broke her growth plate in her arm.
Jesus.
So she was out, and then my son tore his meniscus.
Oh, no.
So he'll be back. I think he'll get released December 19th. I said this to my wife the other day, and like, I asked, man, I wish I had more time, and then my kids got injured.
More time. Oh, okay. I get.
And then my kids got injured, and it's like, damn, I got more time now, but my kids are injured. I don't get to see them play.
Yeah.
Don't complain about what you're doing with your life.
I'll give you what you want.
Just do it and suck it up. You know what I mean? Because if you complain about working, one day you might not have a job, and you may not have no money. I complain about not having time, and then my kids didn't have to play because they were hurt. So that kind of sucked, man.
Yeah, it sucks watching your kids. My kids have been sick for like the past 2 weeks, and I'm like, dude, if I can just take your sickness and make myself sick, like just to see you guys not sick, that'd be great.
Yeah, and then my 8-year-old, he plays on my team, my 2015 boys, and then my little girl hates soccer with a passion.
She
my
hates
6-year-old,
soccer with
she
a passion.
hates it with a passion.
Well, it's because you guys are spending all your time playing soccer and not with her.
In her mind, like, soccer takes daddy away, you know? So
I can see that.
I think, again, next year, kind of cutting back, and she wants to be a cheerleader, and Choctaw's real big with cheer, so, like, just trying to be there for her more outside of soccer, and I kind of already convinced myself she doesn't want to play. So, yeah.
I convinced myself that she doesn't want to play.
Yeah. There's still hope.
Yeah,
there's still hope, but I'm not going to. With my son, I took him in at 3 years old, and he hated it. He ended up loving it, you know. My daughter, I don't think she's built different, man. She's sassy.
Dang. Okay. So 4 teams at Cosmos, maybe it'll be one
or two next year. You know, there's other opportunities there that are opening up for me that I hope come through. I don't want to say what it is, you know, just because I don't want to, but I hope those things come to light. And if those things come to light, it definitely changes a lot of things. But, man, it makes my career kind of skyrocket a little bit.
Wow. So then your plans for this high school season is just to hit up as many high school games as you can?
Man, it's again, it's different for me and Byron. Like, I'll go, if a kid invites me out to watch them play, I'll go watch them play. But I'm not going to go sit through a high school game with zero knowledge of who's playing and just trying to, like, you know, like, again, I get so many players that hit me up. Like, the highlight world has changed recruiting, I believe, whenever that started. You know, like, I break down a lot of film, you know, and I just can't go. I mean, I'm still coaching high school soccer at Choctaw, So Tuesdays and Fridays I'll have games, you know.
You'll somehow still be in the mix,
Yeah.
figuring out what teams are good.
Now, don't
what
get me wrong.
players-
Every team we play against, I'm gonna find out who's on their roster and I'm gonna recruit them.
Mhm.
You know. So, but yeah, the club world is definitely more showcases. It's definitely more my route.
Mhm.
You know, it's different. Boys soccer and girls soccer at the college level is way different as far as recruiting goes.
How's that?
The numbers, you know, like he talked about his numbers, having 11 players, you know.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, even though with injuries and everybody that quit and everything that happened in our program, we still ended the year with 19 players. And that's plus the injuries that we had. So we still had, you know, 4 or 5 injuries. So we still had 24 players. So I didn't struggle for numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now he still has to go recruit as many players as he can. I can be picky. Like I can be like, I like this kid, but I don't like his GPA. I like this kid's GPA, but his attitude kind of sucks. So now I can be more picky of what I'm looking for and what I want. You know, which is awesome. You know, that makes my job from having 2 months to recruit as much as I could to now having a whole year, almost 9 months of just like, we'll see what I want.
What does your off season look like?
Right now we're just off. You know, we finished this year. I give them the holidays off. Come January, we'll go back to work. We'll play some spring games. I think we're allowed 3 spring games. But a lot of that will be put onto my upperclassmen, especially the training side of it. Will be put onto my upperclassmen and holding their team accountable. You know, they're men. I have players that are 28 years old on my team.
Wow, 28 years old?
Yeah.
So I have hope.
I mean, honestly, dude.
I have 2 years of eligibility.
One of the Cosmos coach was like, "Hey, dude, no lie, like I have some eligibility. I'm kind of thinking about going back to get my degree.
Yeah.
Like, you think I can go?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, let's do it." You know, like, you know, it's for everybody, dude. I told you,
it's for everybody.
For me, Randall's for everybody, man. Just come.
We got you.
We got you, man. You want to play? How old are you? 50? I will make it
Just
work.
say you know Mario,
Just-
and they'll let you in.
Yeah, man. Just if you know any of those like 22nd players, you know, over 40, come on, man.
You're
we
not
got
recruiting at Western.
Hey,
Is that what
your
you're doing?
kids graduated high school. You got time? Come play college
I
soccer.
heard Gino has some
Hey,
eligibility.
Gino, come on, man. I could use this good striker.
Right? That's crazy.
But yeah, man, off season and then summertime we'll do summer workouts, and of course all the internationals usually go home during the summer, so it's hard to have them involved. But then come August we'll do 2 days and we start playing again. It's a long, short season, I like to say.
Yeah, because I was talking to Juan, and he was giving me his experience as the assistant coach at Southern Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he was explaining to me how crucial the offseason is
Yeah.
for them, just because of all the games that you guys play during season. Like,
Injury.
you can't really make much changes during
no.
season. It all that tactical stuff, all that, you know, hammering in those habits happen off season. So that's going to be one of those questions I ask all coaches. What are you guys doing during the off season?
Yeah, man, because once you get in the season, man, you know, you can't train hard on Monday because you have a game on Tuesday, and then you can't train hard on Wednesday because it's your recovery day, and you can't train hard on Thursday because you have a game on Friday. You know, so yeah, man, it's the off season is crucial, you know, for that.
What are you doing as far as soccer knowledge? Are you getting more licensing done? Are you
So another thing, again, we talk about time, you know, using my time wisely. Like, I wanted to go for my C license, but, you know, I'm still in school, off-season soccer. So just pros and cons. How would this help me in my current position?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As of right now, you know, my biggest knowledge just comes from talking to as many coaches as I can. You know, I'm already in a position that most people aren't. I'm no degree in coaching college soccer. You know, so I don't want to say I can be, you know, procrastinate, but I can be a little patient, you know, because I'm already where I wanted to be at. You know, after I reach those goals, then bigger goals come along, you know. But right now I have a good job coaching at Randall where I can spend time with my family when I need to in the off season. Right now, holidays, and I still coach club, so I'm in a good place right now. Obviously, you always want to get better. But yeah, as far as licensing goes, man, we're going to the United Soccer Association's Coaches Convention in Anaheim, California in January.
I want to go to that.
Yeah, we're going in January. Me and George is going.
Anaheim, California.
Yeah, Jorge's going. We're blessed that our club is taking care of that for us, you know, and we're going to go for 4 days and get some knowledge and pick some brains. And this is, it's funny because my wife's like, hey, when you go, you got to be careful, all right? You know, you can't be doing dumb stuff, you know, like drinking and stuff. I'm like, man, I'll be the first one up in the morning to go see who's having breakfast, so I'll go sit with them to see.
That's
to
a
see.
networking central
And I'm a
right there.
networking son of a gun, man. Like, when I talk about Eric Morrison, I met that guy twice in my life. Twice we met in person.
I've never met him in person. Only on the I don't know if I have, but I just can't remember that I have right now. But he seems like a really good guy. Hopefully he's recovering well from his surgery.
Yeah, surgery. Yeah, I saw he's coaching already.
Yeah. I had seen that too, so I was like, okay, I guess he's doing great now.
But dude, for me to only meet that man twice, but we would text all the time. Like I'm that guy. Like I'll meet you one time, but we'll text. We'll soccer.
Yeah, yes,
and for him to throw my name out there.
Yeah.
To coach college soccer for somebody that obviously he knew ball from church. Mm-hmm. For him to just put himself out there for me. And he did it for more coach. He told me that, hey, you're not the only one. Like, I appreciate that, Yeah. But just for him to do that, like, dude, I'm just very thankful to that guy. Like, that guy, like, helped me out a ton.
It goes to show why we got to be good people, huh?
Yeah, man. And it goes back to networking, man. You never know who you're talking to.
Never.
You never know what one day they might need from you. You might need from them.
You never know who's watching.
Exactly, man. Like I tell people all the time, like you got to network like there's no tomorrow. I don't care if they're a janitor or they're a CEO. My wife knows this. Anytime we go somewhere, like I make friends. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, I'm in this dude's wedding party next week. We got to go.
She's like, oh, here it goes again. Hey, where's Mario? He's over there talking to something.
Oh, she knows. She does. She's like, dude, I can't take you anywhere. Like I lose you. Like, yeah, that's just me. Like,
yeah. I think we had that same conversation with my wife this weekend. I was at my son's friend had a birthday. My son's in kindergarten. One of his classmates had a birthday party. It was Capitol Hill people.
Hillside?
Yeah, we were just sitting there. I was sitting with Sergio, and then
Porras?
Then Francisco comes in.
Cigala?
He comes in and says, hey, what's up? So then we start talking soccer, and she goes, okay, now I know. Yeah. So I'm hoping I can get Francisco on here pretty soon.
Then it's cool, man. I try to get him as much exposure I can. Like I always tell him, you're a great coach, dude. Like,
yeah, he told me you were trying to recruit him over at Cosmos.
I was, man. I was trying to get him to come, and for whatever reason, he decided not to, and that's fine. Like everybody's path is different. But like, a lot of these guys, man, they do a lot. They take a lot of time away from their families, and again, it's not a money-driven thing, but it's like, dude, like.
Dude, it's because we have all this passion for soccer, and then after your playing days are over, it's kind of like, where do I put this passion?
Exactly, and you can, and respect for anybody that does it on their own time. Like I just can't afford to do it for free.
Yeah, I
have a big family, like but I'm blessed. I'm blessed to make money doing what I love, and like I say, if you do what you love for a living, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, full time.
But that's a lie, dude. Because I get home sometimes and my back is hurting. Like I don't like to sit when I'm coaching, but sometimes now that I'm getting, and I realize I'm only 34, but like now I catch myself having to sit down during games, and that's also just growing as a coach. Growing as a coach, especially like knowing that part of when you coach at a higher level, it's not about what's on the ball; it's about what's going off the ball. Are your players moving the way you want them to move? I think my biggest person that I talk to the most is probably Matt.
Matt has a good soccer mind.
Yeah, me and Matt Levinson talk almost every day, dude. We talk anything having to do with soccer. We talk from development of youth, the college game, professional games. We have a group chat, me, him, Ricky, and George. It's called Cosmos Coaches and Matt.
Cosmos Coaches and Matt, that's funny.
Yeah, and before he left, man, we worked on that. We tried to get him. We were going to try to get him into with us before he left, but he had a great opportunity, for his family, for the growth of his family, and he took it, and I think he's running well with it. But like, yeah, man, I pick his brain.
We miss you, Matt.
And we do. Yeah, I pick his brain like there's no tomorrow. He picks my brain about other things like Matt, and we met at Capitol Hill. Matt has become one of my best friends.
He was there when I made that video.
Yeah. And he became one of my best friends, and we talk almost every day, and it's usually soccer related. And there's life things in there too. Like there's things that I've experienced that he's going through. There's things that he's experienced that I'm going through. So
it's cool how you guys have a group of soccer coaches, but as well as dads who have kids who are just going through life.
And anytime I'm in my vehicle, man, I make phone calls.
We need friends like that.
Like every time I'm in the car, my first call is usually to Matt. If he doesn't answer, then I call him. Then I call George. If he doesn't answer, then I'll call Ricky. And if he doesn't answer, then I'll call Byron. Because I just, what? And if nobody answers, man, then I'm sending a text message. Y'all suck.
All you guys. I call every single one of you guys.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. It's because I don't want to be at home on the phone with my. I try to avoid that. Sometimes I try to avoid having those conversations when I'm at home because it's my time with my family. So when I'm in the car, it's the perfect time to chat and talk about soccer. Have our own little podcast,
right?
Non-recorded podcast.
Do you ever think that? I'm sure you do. You're just like, man, if I would have recorded this would have been a great episode.
Me and George talked about it, like doing a podcast.
You should. I'll set it up for you guys.
Dude, we have no time, dude.
That's true.
We have no time to do a
Look,
podcast.
George can be right there. Matt can be right there. Ricky can be right there. That'd be a crazy one right there, to be honest.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
man. I hear your 3 studs up,
3 studs up.
Yeah,
What do you think about the 3 studs up?
dude. It's crazy. It's like all over the place, but it's enjoyable.
Those
you
guys
know?
are hilarious. Dude.
Yeah,
I
you
love
know,
them.
like Trent and
Trent,
the
Alan,
soccer
Dave.
basket. Yes, dude. Like those guys are awesome, man.
They
And
are.
just listen to them is just like being with them in person. Like if you listen to that podcast, do not think they're just doing like that's just them. Like everything's just out of left field, and this is what we're doing. Oh, what was this? Oh, what's this? Oh, is it? You
Always
know?
talking. There's always banter going on, talking shit. We brought you up a few
I
times.
know. I let man. You know, I think me, the bartender, and another guy were like the only Everton fans.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's hard. You know, especially
What can
right
we
now.
do better with the 3 studs up?
Oh man, man. I mean, it's
Just
enjoyable.
keep recording, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's not meant for a podcast like this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a knowledge.
Different format.
Yeah, it's a different format, and you know, it might not. There might be some people that listen to this that don't want to listen to that. There might be some people that listen to that don't want to listen to this. You know, some people will not care about my career, which is cool. You know, I hope people listening to me right now are thinking more of the side of like, this is what I can do. I still have a chance to get where I want to be, instead of like, I don't care what this guy did.
Yeah, I would love for people to listen to this, hear your story, and be like, no, not in any bad way, but if Mario can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly,
I mean? Like,
man.
anybody can do it.
And like I tell people all the time, like find me on Facebook, send me a message, whatever I can do to help. You know, I've limited myself a little bit more now. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out of my way, take time away from my family to go help somebody I don't know anymore. But if anything in my power, in my time, if I need to make a phone call for you, if I have to take a text
At the
message,
very least, you'll give them the playbook.
exactly. Like, hey, here's the door. You want to go through it? Knock yourself out.
Yeah, you can only take the water to the horse to the water, but if they
Yeah,
don't
for
decide to
sure,
drink it, they
man.
won't.
So it's cool, man. I'm gonna get you another one like this one, dude.
Yeah, man, but es que esta está más mamalona. I need to jailbreak it and get in there because
You can jailbreak cameras.
Yeah, dude, you can jailbreak anything, dude, anything.
Man.
PlayStations. You ever go to Mexico and see those raggedy Xboxes that have like 1,000 games on them? Yeah, you know, anything can be jailbroken.
Yeah.
What do you do? Not related to soccer, when you need to take your mind off of it, like just to not think about coaching.
So of course I have to do homework,
Mhm.
you know, but I'm only taking like 2 classes at a time. So it's like, it's very minimal, you know, and they're 8-week classes. So just making sure I get my homework done, but homework could be a drag, man. I hated school when I was in high school. I do enjoy the classes now just because they're more like, I'm older and more mature and like, you know, just learning to say no. And like, you know, it's a Christian school. So like biblical interpretation. It's like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know, like, I'm a nerd. So I do like wrestling.
In the wrestling?
I love wrestling.
Like WWE?
Yeah, WWE.
Nice.
I watch sports like football, baseball, hockey, whatever it's on, I watch it.
Nice.
You know, my wife likes sports, so it's a lot of stuff like that. Watching movies with my wife.
You probably don't have time. I forget you have kids and you coach, so you probably don't have much time to yourself just to.
Yeah,
sit
I do
down and
have
breathe.
a '96 Volkswagen GTI sitting in my garage that I've been meaning to work on, but it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Oh.
I used to be a bitch car guy, so you know, maybe this upcoming summer, I'll take the dust off of it and start working on it some more.
That's your downtime, the summertime, huh?
Yeah.
What you would think? Well, just a few months before season
It's because
starts.
there's no club.
Mhm.
You know, there's no club soccer. So, you know, we still do the Randall thing, but you have a lot more time on your hands. And I mean, again, I'm blessed, man, because even right when I'm not working, I'm still working and I'm still getting paid. But I mean, you're always working in this industry. I have former friends of mine from high school that were way better players than me, and me, hey, how can I get my kid into soccer? You know, and you're always working, man. You're never
Always
stuck.
recruiting.
You're always recruiting. Even in club side, you helping kids. People know who you are. Hey, so and so told me you can help me. Yeah, how old's your kid? Yeah, I don't coach that age, but I can help you get
Do
in.
privates or anything like that?
Man, I did last summer. Just being in Choctaw, I started doing some privates in Choctaw. This year I might do some. I don't need to do it, and I don't want to commit to something that maybe I'm gonna regret later.
Yeah, something you're not going to be fully committed to.
Yeah, exactly, and that's my biggest thing right now. Like, I don't want to half-ass anything, you know, and like that's what I'm trying to, because sometimes I half-ass things that I shouldn't half-ass, and that's where I got to get reset. Like, what my daughter, like my youngest daughter's the one right now. Like, what can I do with her for her growth and what she wants to do? Okay, I need to find time for that. You know, if I have to sit there and cheerleading practice, and I have to sit there and cheerleading practice. Like,
Yeah, if you have to sit there and dance with them.
You know, because you know this. You're a father. You know of several kids. Like every kid is different.
Yes, they are.
You know, one of my kids may be struggling in school while the other one's striving. You know, and it's like, okay, how can I help my kid that's striving, but not making my kid that's not striving feel bad?
Mm-hmm.
And how can I make sure I'm helping my kid that's not thriving without making the kid that's thriving like, oh, you don't even pay attention to me.
Jealous.
Yeah, so like it's being a father, a husband, a coach. It's
a lot, dude.
Yeah,
Shout out to you, man.
It's a lot, man.
Well, we've been recording for an hour. We'll close it off with one more topic, but do you think Everton's gonna get relegated this year?
No, man. No,
How
man.
dare you ask this question? You're about to jump across the table.
We were playing so well, man. We had 10 points in 4 games, and then he just took them away. Man, dude.
What are your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, if they're trying to make an example of us,
why not make an example out of Manchester
because they
City?
haven't found them guilty of anything yet. They're still. If they find City, which they won't, but if they find them guilty of 115 counts, you're talking a whole decade of Premier League soccer.
They're just gonna take all 4 titles from
But
them?
not just that. You're talking about a whole decade of Premier League soccer basically wiped in history because they were the top team in the Premier League. You know, so like, yeah, dude, they're not gonna find them guilty. Like, they'll get a slap on the wrist. We're just Everton. Like, it's easy to do it for us.
So that puts you we're
in 19th place right now with 4 points.
With 4 points only.
But we're lucky that the people around us are pretty low too. Like, if we can, I think who's last? Is it Sheffield? I think Sheffield's last, and I think there's Luton.
No, Luton's on.
No, Luton's like 17th, aren't they? But they only have like 6 points.
That's my team this year.
Luton, I love their stadium.
That's what I'm cheering for.
I like their stadium.
That's great. That's one of the places that I'd be like, I need to go watch an EPL game.
I like when you're walking up in the stands and you're walking through people's backyards.
Watching La Senora. Yeah, so Burnley's in last place.
Okay.
Everton, Sheffield, and then Luton.
But Luton's like 6 points, right?
They have... Bear with me 1 second because I just tapped somewhere I didn't mean to tap. 9 points. Which one is points? Hold on. Points. Yeah, there you go. 4, 4, 5. Luton has 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're one. I mean, think about it. They lose one game, we win one game, and we're already out of the relegation. Mm-hmm. And the way we've been playing, my wife swears that we're just gonna play crappy because the guy's gonna be like, "Oh, we lost." Then it's so early in the season, though. We'll find a way. At least this makes it more interesting now. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't want to. The last 2 seasons, the endings have been great. You know, last
came down to the last game, man.
Dude, we went to Skinny Slim's that day, and it was packed. You know, the last day of
and
it was packed, dude. And
I
remember I was watching it on my phone because the only TV that was showing Everton was behind the bar because the bartender.
That's where he was watching it.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I'm sitting there, and then there's like Leicester fans and like Leeds fans, and Leeds kind of already got.
Because there's like 6 games going on right now.
So the last, all
of them.
Yeah. So Leicester's playing, and the guys are right, and I'm the only Everton, just like me and this other guy. Mm-hmm. And when Doucouré scored that goal, I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, Everton just scored, and then like, yeah, but. Yeah, it's hard being an Everton fan, man.
Is it?
Yeah. Man, we didn't talk high school soccer, though.
Do you want to?
I do want to talk high school soccer.
Go ahead.
I'm excited for high school soccer.
What are you excited about?
Because, again, I am coaching, but, like, this whole new...
The new district thing?
Like, I'm excited to see. You know, I know we talked one time we're going to have a high school soccer preview.
Yeah, we should. Show. I want to be able to recap maybe... Do some dailies and just like recap.
So here's what you do, man. You have about 20 minutes right now. We're going to cut this off and make this another podcast, and we're going to do a high school preview.
Okay. Welcome to the high school preview show, guys. With me today is Mario. Mario, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So we're talking high school soccer. Tell me about it.
It's exciting, man. It's exciting seeing what's going to happen this year, who's going to win, who's going to fail, who's going to change their whole program around, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And it's exciting seeing these teams move around. Maybe some teams getting more challenges, some teams getting less challenges.
Are there any teams that you're specifically interested in figuring out how they do?
Well, of course, Choctaw, just because I'm coaching there.
Are you coaching at Choctaw?
I am coaching at Choctaw. I'm the assistant coach at Choctaw.
Congratulations.
Man, thank you. I'm excited to see what that group... I've been there... I've gone like 2 weeks that I've been training with them. Uh-huh. And of course you go seeing from like their 6A record, like, God, man, what is this school offering? You know, what's wrong? Then you get there and you're like, oh, it's actually not bad. Coach Jenkins does a great job of building that culture and make sure the kids want to be there. Mm-hmm. and buying in, but there's talent there.
Yeah.
And I feel like them moving to 5A was the best thing for them.
I think so. You think they're gonna ruffle some feathers this year?
I think they will surprise some people. I think they will. I think we will come in and we will surprise some people, and hopefully, and I'm actually pretty confident of this.
You gonna win state?
Man, no, I don't want to say that, but I don't want to say no either. Like anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously history shows us that 5A belongs to a particular school.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're not gonna name that school though.
I mean, we'll name that school to that. I've gotten over my Santa Fe South fear since I left Capitol Hill.
Okay.
But the dude, respect for Santa Fe South, man.
Yeah.
Like back to back, dude. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's so awesome for
Will
them.
they do it again?
History shows us that they will.
History shows
You know,
us that
history
they
shows us they should. I feel like every year, you know, there's target on their back now.
Mm-hmm.
They are the bar
Mm-hmm.
in 5A, and I feel like if Fairley and Able do what they're supposed to do, what they know how to do, and they're still getting all of those great players coming into that program. History shows that they should, but again, the game has to be played.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually in our district.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're actually in Chalk, so we actually get to play them this year.
Do you have any words for them right now? Look at look at them right in the face, right there. Their faces right there. I'm coming for you, Wes.
Nah, man. I'm excited for that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the boys to play that game. Choctaw's been in tough games. I mean, they've had to play Union and Jinx and Broken Arrow before, so they're not new to playing high level teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we work. You know, but
Are you lining up any tough scrimmages before district?
dude, that ain't me, bro. That's the head coach. That's the
head
beauty
coach.
of not being the head coach, man. Like
Cool.
leaving Douglas and going to. I'm just there to coach.
Kind
Whatever.
of like being a grandparent, you know, you get the kids only for a little bit and then throw them back.
Yeah, he takes the hard. He has to deal with the hard stuff. I just show up and coach, and whatever he wants me to do, that's what I'm going to do, and I want to be there to support him.
Nice.
Yeah, we need to have him on.
Is it boys or girls?
Boys.
Yeah, let's
boys.
have him on.
Yeah, we need to. Dude, we had tryouts, like 50 kids at tryouts. Like, dude.
In Choctaw.
Yeah, like I think Eric would be a great podcast. Eric's a great dude. Nothing but respect for that guy.
I'd love to get to know him.
Yeah, no, Eric. He's been there a couple years now. He played there too. You know, and Choctaw has a little bit of history. You know, the Yowzy family. You know, Anthony Yowzy played there.
Yeah.
You
Shout
know,
out to the women's MACU coach.
Yes, sir.
Good.
You know.
Great year this year.
Oh yeah. So.
I'm gonna
but-
hit you up here pretty soon.
But yeah, man, but high school soccer is exciting this year, man. Just, you know, I'm close to Hera. I have players on my club teams that play for Hera.
Yeah.
So seeing them go down to 3A, you know, seeing maybe they can compete, and you got Matias, you know,
Class in SAS.
Class in SAS
That's
going down
gonna
to
be a good
3A.
one for them. I'm definitely interested.
Obviously 3A still now with Heritage Hall leaving and going to 4A. 3A is
Wide open, I think.
I wouldn't say wide open,
But
man.
you think it belongs to who?
It belongs to CO, man.
You think so?
I think Benny's doing a great job there.
They have some good freshmen coming in this year.
They have some good freshmen. They have a good sophomores. Like they have a good class. Like and that community bleeds. You know, they don't have to compete with football and back. Like that community bleeds soccer. You know.
And basketball. But Benny,
Yeah.
call me.
Yeah, Benny, you need to get on, man.
Call me.
His little brother plays with my son and Cosmos. Yeah,
He's a
Aiden.
boss, dude.
Yeah, I love Aiden, man. I love Aiden. And that 3A, man. I think Crooked Oak's gonna win it.
Okay.
I hope they win it. You know, got none but love and respect for Benny. You know, I've known him since we were little, and I hope he can get another one that's 2 and 3 years.
All-state coach Olvera.
Yeah, I'll stay coach over on the girls' side in 3A, man. Honestly, I have no idea. Like I don't really, you know, in 4A, I think Heritage Hall is gonna show up and take over.
Think so?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Clinton.
yeah, man. But
Clinton.
but Heritage Hall, man.
Yeah.
And now that they're 4A,
man.
imagine you. So here's the thing, Clinton, you're gonna get what you get at Clinton, right? But imagine your Heritage Hall, who at 3A, you're getting all these athletes to come in because it's a private school. Now you're in 4A, so kids are like, oh, now you're up more. So now
I don't know, man. Clinton was beating 6A teams last year,
Yeah.
so I think Clinton. Don't underestimate Chickasha, another good
I
4A
thought-
team.
Did Chickasha not go to 5A?
I don't know.
I think
right
Chickasha
now.
went to 5A.
I'll have to find out.
But I say Heritage Hall in 4A,
Okay.
but I could be biased just because I've seen them play in the finals the last 2 years from 3A.
You named to 5A, so now 6A.
6A is always the wide
It's always a
open.
toss-up. It's
a
always wide
toss-up,
open,
man.
yeah.
Um,
I'm curious to see if the teams that are up in 6A, how they're gonna do, like Bishop McGinnis, Piedmont. I'm curious to see if Deer Creek's gonna have a great team this year. Norman always tends to
who
be
won it
pretty
last year?
interesting.
Jinx?
Jinx boys and girls won them.
Man, I'm not going to say it because he told me not to say anything.
Okay,
But they screwed Matt.
you think so?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, with UConn.
Yes.
I heard he was pretty upset after that
Dude,
semifinal game.
Did you see the video?
No.
No, when you get a chance. And he's going to hate me for talking about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Send it to me. I'll put it right here.
Yeah, dude, it's
I won't do that.
dude.
Hey, but that's soccer sometimes.
It is, man. I was so upset for him. Like he called me like in the locker room. He was so upset.
Wasn't it like a PK that didn't get called?
Yeah, no, it did get called. It did in overtime, man. And it was just like, man, like
it was. I think I have seen the video.
And it was like, dude, like
that's a whack call to make.
It's hard to make. It's hard to make that call in that position,
especially for it to be a decisive. You basically just decided the game on a handball that some refs would call and others wouldn't.
I'm an advocate for referees, so it's hard for me to just say here because there's no VAR. It just happens quick. But
boy, man, if you're unsure about one, just let it play. You have to be sure.
And dude, imagine if Matt wins that and goes to the state finals.
Matt had a crazy year, man. Especially after having won it at Cricket Oak, and then you're gonna go and just take care of business.
He took UConn girls to the semifinals for the first time in their history.
They beat Mustang.
Huh?
They beat Mustang.
They did. You know
what I mean?
I hope Mustang boys make a comeback just because I know Jared. Personally, I hope he's able to bring them back to what they were a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. They have it, and the Mustang always tends to.
Yeah, they do.
Pull out some great players.
I'm curious to see what Douglas does.
Yeah,
they moved to 4A.
Who's coaching at Douglas?
I have no idea.
And why would they move them up to 4A? Is it because they look at the school as a whole? So basketball goes up to 4A.
So no, they got moved up because of population. So you can move up or down depending on population, but then you can move up or down depending on your record.
Mm-hmm.
So they got moved up because
they have their redistricting got probably.
They have a lot more people there now, like a lot more kids there. And honestly, man, like a lot more kids are willing to go there. The principal there's doing a great job, man.
Mm-hmm. But not if you're wanting to play soccer. They hear Douglas and they're just like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Grant. Or
usually Northwest Classen, because the district, like we talked about districting last time.
Yeah.
Usually Northwest Classen, but man, like I'm curious. I did throw I told my assistant from college to go apply for that job. I throw a lot of my college players like they go. Mm-hmm. I hope they just have a program. It's hard to get somebody in there because, but I know the girls softball coach is working on making it happen. She was a big advocate for us. She's a secretary there when I was there. So I hope they do have a program, and I hope they just keep it alive. Mm-hmm. A lot of work went into that, and I hope, and they got my support 110%. I hope. I know Randall, we bought him 12 soccer balls. Mm-hmm. Just so they can have some more soccer balls.
I was gonna ask you, dude, what's up with the budget? Like, don't they have a budget for the soccer team?
Yeah, they do, man. They do, but if you don't have a coach that's gonna advocate for you, then
they don't even know if they're gonna have kids for the team. So
yeah, we had to have that. Exactly, and that's the hard part. Like, we can't throw a budget in there if we don't know we're gonna have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's money that can. The basketball team's really good at Douglas. And they won state last year in 4A or 3A, whatever they are. And so it's hard, but I hope they have a program. I'm curious to see how Capitol Hill does.
Yeah.
Last year. George Robledo did a great job,
All-state coach Robledo.
Yeah.
I need to have George on.
Dude, not just that, dude. Making the playoffs in 6A for the first time in Capitol Hill history. They made it in 5A, when I went to school there, they made the state championship game in 5A, but like just making it to the 6A, playoffs.
Some great kids out there, dude.
Yeah,
a lot of the kids that I coached at Heronville are now seniors on that team.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just crazy to see how...
Did you have Favela?
I had Juan.
Okay.
I had Juan Hernandez, I think is his name too. That was a great kid too. I had a majority of those kids that went to Heronville ended up at Capitol Hill.
And man, and one thing I want to talk about, just going back to the college side. If you have a kid that's in school and they're not juniors yet, and I'm gonna do my plug here. Please fill out Oklahoma Promise.
Yeah, OLAP is clutch.
It's Oklahoma Promise now. They don't call it OLAP anymore.
Oh, it was OLAP for me, but Oklahoma Promise will basically pay for your school, and depending on how you go about things, could put money back in your pocket.
Because here's the thing, man. If you qualify for Oklahoma Promise, you'll qualify for FAFSA Pell Grant, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, that's over $10,000 per year that you're getting.
And then if you're academically there, you can get an
academic
scholarship.
I have kids at Randall. Randall's expensive. It's a private expensive school,
We do need to push Oklahoma Promise.
Yeah, dude. Like I talked to Cookson from Grant. We've had this conversation. Like this theory of like, we can't hold their hands through it. Like, you need to hold their hands through this because
not, someone else is gonna hold their hand and pulling them to the wrong direction.
Yeah, dude. I've talked to so many players. Like, if they just had Oklahoma Promise, they could go to my school for free. Like, that's it. Yeah. Like, I mean, any school, but not just my school. Like, in my school is on the expensive side. Mm-hmm. Like if you're listening to this and you have a child or you know somebody, please help them. It's work because you got to pull some taxes out and stuff like that. But God, man,
it's free money.
Like, we're struggling right now with my daughter because she didn't get her Oklahoma Promise thing in, and it's like please, if you have a kid, or you know a kid, or you just work in a school, and you know maybe it's not being pushed the way it should, like Oklahoma Promise can change generation.
Yeah, dude, I went to Dove Science Academy and they forced everyone to.
You have to. Douglas, man, Kevin Jones there is like forcing him to do it. Like you have no idea the impact a kid going to college can have on generations.
Yeah, generations.
Like it can change the way a family's path. It can change, like, you can go from nothing. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with working construction. Like, much respect.
But you open doors, you meet people,
Yes.
you network with people. You're surrounded by just the good, you know.
And not just that, like now you're an example for your younger siblings, for your younger cousins, your younger nieces, your younger nephews. Like, man, they went to college. I want to go to college. Like, it's cool being the first in your family to go to college. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But you should not be the last. Yeah. And if you're the first, you should be opening doors for the rest of your family.
Well said. And
Oklahoma Promise, man, if you're listening and you work at a school, even if they think they're not gonna, just do it. Like, just if they're able to, if they were born here or they have a social security number, like, knock it out, because it can change a kid's life for the better. Like that's my biggest thing right now. Like, again, I have so much going on, but I wish I could just like take something off and start a committee where we're just visiting schools and like pushing Oklahoma Promise. You know, like it's passionate about it. You can see like, like, I mean, just because
people don't know.
Yeah, like and look through your kids' stuff. Like, ask them, hey, do we need to do Oklahoma Promise? Because your kids won't.
Fill it out for them.
Yeah, like take the text forms, like, because you're gonna be like, your kids aren't gonna tell you about it because
they don't realize how important it is.
And then I always get the kids, I didn't know I was gonna go to college. I didn't think I was gonna go to college. Like, even if you don't think you're gonna go to college, just do it, man. Just
do it.
Shia LaBeouf, do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Do it. Like, so important, man. And so, yeah. So that's my pitch on Oklahoma Promise. Like, please just do it.
Nice.
And I brought that up because of Capitol Hill. Like, there's some players that I'm talking to, and if they just had Oklahoma Promise, man, it would make their life so much easier. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same thing for Grant.
All the schools.
All the schools, man. But obviously, I talk about the schools in my community. Your Northwest Classens, your Grant, your Southeast, your Capitol Hill, your Crooked Oaks, your Western Heights, your Santa Fe South.
Your Westmores, your
Sophomore. Your Westmore, Sophomore. I mean, just if you're there, like, and I talk about my schools that I grew up around just because, like, I know I can maybe fit what their lifestyle is. I know what they went through. I know what maybe college isn't pushing their household. Maybe just graduating high school. I remember growing up, my mom was like, just graduate high school, I'll be so happy. And now it's like, you just can't do that.
Yeah, that can't be the bar.
That can't be the bar. Like, you got to set your standard higher. And again, it's not for everybody. College is not for everybody. But if it is, and you just don't want to do it because it's expensive, like, then make it easier for you and so yeah, like, soccer coaches who listen to this, like, push it on your kids. Push it on your kids. Like, don't practice for 2 days and just do Oklahoma Promise. Like, those 2 days you miss are not going to change a kid's life as much as this will.
Yeah, facts.
Like, that's my pitch on Oklahoma Promise. Oklahoma Promise, go ahead and send me a check.
Well, I mean, I think that concludes a good first episode of our high school podcast.
It does, man. It does. I think
we did a good job.
We did.
Yeah,
we did. I think you do a great job with this, man.
Appreciate it, dude. You got people like you make it easy. People like you make it easy.
I hope this. I hope somebody listens to this one day.
And looks forward to the second episode of the high school podcast, or what?
Not just just your podcast in general. I hope somebody someday listens to it, and maybe puts you out there to where you can get to bigger heights with this.
Yeah, maybe it'll help me when I want to start coaching.
I listened to there's a podcast, the Three Lads Footy Show.
Okay.
They have Facebook Reels, and I guess they do it from like their Instagram or Snapchat or all that. And it comes up on their Facebook Reels, and it's just three Mexican dudes talking about soccer. And now I listen to their podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I hope this one day blows up for you to put you where like on the map. And if it's not coaching, man, I hope one day you're just doing this.
Yeah.
And.
Or doing it now, bro.
Doing it now.
Doing it now.
I hope one day you're doing this, and this is all you have to do. Let me say like that.
You can pay the bills.
Nice.
like you said, we need a sponsor. We need to find a sponsor for this.
If you listen to this and you're able to sponsor this, man, like, dude, this dude brings so much joy to my life when I could get a new. Dude, you didn't do it for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, dude, it's like, just.
Hey, nobody hit me up to check on me. Hey, dude, you all right? Like,
But
Nah, I'm
but
kidding.
did you die, bro?
Nah, I lived. There was so much going on in my life that I needed to make other things a priority. And I moved houses.
Oh, did you?
You know what that entails. You
Oh,
have to
God,
move. Your schedule changes. Your habits change. You're driving down different roads. So everything was just so new that I was like, I can't right now. I don't even know where I'm going to record anymore.
Yeah.
And luckily, we're now ironing out the details. We created habits that are making other things more available to do. So we're figuring it out, man.
That's good, man.
I got another episode to record tomorrow.
Who gonna have on?
Who am I gonna have on tomorrow? Man, should I say? Should I not say? Okay, I'll say it. I have Coach Tower, the assistant coach at Class in SAS.
Oh, okay, the guy that
He
did
does
the boxing.
boxing, he does private training.
I tried to talk him into taking a Douglas job.
Did you?
Yeah, last year I was like, hey, dude. He's like, oh, I just like, all right, man.
I love that guy. He's very passionate about that job there at Class in SAS, and he wants to make it great. And I think talking to him, he ruffled a couple feathers, in his podcast, calling people out in his district. But I mean,
that's the fun part.
That's the fun part. That I was genuinely happy that my podcast was able to get people excited for what they're doing outside of this. I saw him connect with someone else that I recorded with, and it's just like, yeah, there's a community being built.
Dude, you did a podcast with Joel and his brother
and Cuco, his cousin. Yeah, I've grown up with them
about
fatherhood,
dude. I thought that was awesome.
Oh, did you listen to that?
Yeah, dude. Like,
what'd you think?
I thought it was awesome. I think you. Obviously, it's time consuming, but like, there's so many avenues you could go. Like, one thing, and me and George talk about this, like men's mental health. Like, I don't think we talk about it enough.
No, we don't. We don't talk about it. Period.
And like, you having these inner thoughts of like, man, you wish you could coach, and you wish you could, and sometimes like, but you have to suck it up and you have to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it may not be a big deal to some people, but we don't know how much that's really inside, like making you like, damn, like I really want to do that, but like you got to be there for your kids, and you got to do what you got to do as a man, but like, I don't feel like we have outlets sometimes. I've surrounded myself with a lot of great dudes. We got George, family man, husband, moved to Newcastle.
Your soccer group chat, bro.
Yeah, but then you have, like George is a great example of somebody that went from like having this job at Cox, and now he's coaching soccer and
doing what he loves,
and finished school and teaching at Webster, And then I have Matt, who's a new father, married about 3 years, moving into a new state, and then just being able to vent to each other. And then we have the other side of it. You have like Ricky. Like Ricky, Ricky could be the biggest a-hole in the world, but like I know a side of Ricky, like that he opens up like emotionally to me, and I hope that he sees me as somebody, and he does. He vents to me a lot, and like I love being that for him, And I hope like if you're a man, if you listen to this, like dude, just find somebody where you
reach out to.
Yeah, you can just chat, bro. Like we don't always have to get together just to drink and listen to music and stare at the fire like idiots.
Yeah.
Like, see, that cabrón.
Nah, it is tough, bro.
Like we could sit down, open up a water, and just like, hey, dude, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
How is your life going, bro? What struggles are you going through? Like that episode you did about fatherhood was awesome.
Thank you. Because
like that really like it brought a new perspective out, And I know it's called Mas Futbol, so maybe it has to be a different direction, But like, I think again, I wish I could do a podcast because I have so many subjects I could talk about. Chris Jericho's podcast is awesome. I listen to his.
Chris Jericho's
podcast? Because he goes wrestling, music, movies.
What the heck is that? What is it called? Please tell me it has
the
something to do with the Walls of Jericho.
No, it's called the Chris Jericho podcast. He's actually like top 10 in the world.
Yeah?
Yeah, his podcast.
Crazy.
But he goes so many different ways, dude. Like you have wrestling, music, movies, paranormal,
Chris Jericho
conspiracy theories. Like he's been doing this for like 10, 15 years now. He's he has his own Chris Jericho channel on Apple podcast.
Wow, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, dude. Like, he has podcasts under him, But like, dude, like, to me, a podcast is a great way to just kind of relieve yourself.
Dude, yeah, I can't think of very many instances where I get to plan just to sit down and chat and just talk and bounce ideas.
I was telling my mom like, oh, I'm gonna do this. She's like, what is that? And I kind of I gave her a little glimpse of the first time we did it like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so y'all just talk? Like, yeah, Mom, we just talk.
That's it. We just talk.
But you record it. It's like, yeah. And then we record it and we post it and people listen to it. But why? It's like, why not? I mean, why not, Mom? Like, this could open up somebody else's eyes, to like, okay. Like,
you should tell her, I was like, let me record with you.
I told my wife that you should have her on. And when she hears it, she's going to get mad at me. my wife, I would love my wife to give her perspective as a soccer mom slash coach's wife, and her husband not being home a lot, and her still having to do her
Hold
part.
the house down.
Yeah, like my wife holds the house down. She still has a job. She has a really good job. She still has she does everything. So like I think one day if you
For real,
like
that's a great idea.
because like her perspective on things is gonna be like the other side of it. Like how does it feel when I'm always gone? How does it feel? But there's a lot of wives out there that can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I just say my wife because she's my wife.
But that's a perspective I haven't heard from yet.
Yeah, exactly. The being there and supportive. I've learned not to have an ego in this world. Like
you have to have a little bit.
You
of
do.
ego, dude.
Like as far as the game goes, like I want to win. We all want to win. But I have parents on my club. He's like, dude, it looks like you just don't care.
Man, it's not that
It's not that I don't care. It's just like they play the game.
And what can you do? Like,
Yeah.
I
When
can't
they
get in there and play.
When
for
they
them.
lose, I'm not mad because we lost. I'm upset for them because they had to battle with losing the game. When they win, I'm happy for them because they won the game. It's not that I don't care, but like it's not gonna make me.
It's more so like you understand that once the game starts, there's not really much you can do.
Exactly. I think I used to get more upset when I was younger and the Dallas Cowboys would lose.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I'm a Cowboys fan, and I just learned that's part of the season. You know what I mean? Like,
Man, when was this? Like 2015 when Dez caught it. That Dez caught it play. I remember going home and crying. And my wife hugging me and making fun of me, but while I'm crying.
That's
but again,
one week that the Chivas guy just banging on the wall.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, Mario. Yeah, it's just a football game, Mario.
But like she knew how passionate I was about it. I've been a Cowboys fan all my life. But now that I'm older,
Kids are like, "What's wrong with Daddy?"
They know.
Cowboys lost. Sorry.
And now that I'm older and more mature, like I can handle those things better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
but
come on,
like,
dude, you're an Everton fan. Like,
Yeah,
what's harder to be, an
my
Everton
wife,
fan or a
my
Cowboys
wife,
fan?
my wife's like, escoges equipos.
Así es la vida, mija. Así-
And like Everton, Dallas Cowboys, the New York Knicks.
Unfortunately, we lost the footage to the rest of the podcast, but you can still listen to the rest of it on Spotify. We appreciate your support.